excited because today I'm gonna make a brand new recipe that I've never made before, and we're gonna use what everybody has an abundance of right now, which is zucchinis. So my friend brought over some zucchinis from her garden, and I was like, what am I gonna make with these? And there's so many things you can make, but I'm gonna make up some zucchini bread, and you're gonna come with me. Let's go make it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna add all the dry ingredients to this big bowl first, and we're gonna whisk to combined. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do, and I'll put the recipe that I have here in the description below so you can follow it at home too. But we're gonna do 2 cups of flour, 1.5 cups of sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of salt, and we're gonna put it all in this bowl. So let's do that. Okay, so I've got all of my dry ingredients in the bowl, and now what we're going to do is just whisk it together. You can see it all. So we're gonna whisk that all together and put it aside and then do the next steps. I also used extra cinnamon because we love cinnamon. So I put a little bit more than a tablespoon, but let's do the next step. Okay, so I forgot to add the salt when I did that last video, so I just put the salt in. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my zucchini. I already have it washed. I'm just gonna kind of take all the spots from the garden where it laid and cut those. So we're gonna cut that off. I'm just gonna cut the end off. And then I'm gonna cut some of the bad parts off. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shred it, and I need 2 cups. So let's do that. Okay, so we have our zucchini shredded. You need 2 cups. That's probably good, 2 cups. And now what you're going to do is you're just gonna push this aside. We're gonna get all of our wet ingredients, and then we're going to mix them up. And what we need for our wet ingredients now is we need to beat the eggs, and we need 3 large eggs. And then we're gonna add this zucchini in. So we need 2 cups of zucchini, and then we're also gonna add in the oil and the vanilla. And we need 3/4 cups of vegetable oil and 1 tablespoon of vanilla. And then we're gonna mix that up. So let's do that now. Okay, so I had a little bit extra. I just threw it in because all it's gonna do is add moisture to your bread. So now I'm gonna mix this all in together, and then I'm going to add and what I did was I put all of my dry ingredients in a smaller bowl, because now what you're gonna do is you're gonna add your dry ingredients to your wet ingredients and mix it up. So let's do that. I'm gonna mix this in together. It's pretty well mixed good. And then I'm gonna add my dry ingredients into my wet ones. And we're gonna give it a good mix. Oh man, this looks so good. Give this a mix. So I'll show you what it looks like once I've got most of it mixed in here. It's gonna be thicker just because you do have kind of a chunky ingredient, as the zucchini's not a liquid or a powder, obviously, so it's gonna be a little bit chunkier. But once you have it all mixed in together, it's gonna look like this. And I'm just gonna mix it a little bit more, and then we're going to prepare our loaf pans. All right, so now that it's all mixed together, I'm gonna prepare my baking sheets. So I'm just gonna use some parchment paper, line 2 loaf pans, and then we're going to divide the mixture in half and pour it in the loaf pans, and then we're gonna put it into bake. And I was just thinking while I was cleaning up, you'll notice in most of my videos that I cook, I always like to keep my workspace clean. I don't make the whole thing and then clean up. I like to clean up in between. Just something that I do. So let's prepare the pans now. My oven has preheated to 350, so it's ready to go. And then I'm gonna, like I said, split this in half in the 2 loaf pans, and then we'll put them into bake. Okay, so here we go. See my daughter. She just gave a thumbs up at the end of that video. So we are prepared. The only thing I didn't do because I don't have is walnuts. You can put walnuts in. I just don't have any, so obviously I'm not gonna put any in, but there you go. You're gonna put those in the oven now. They are going to cook at 350 for 50 to 60 minutes until a toothpick inserted comes out clean. Okay, so let's put them in. There we go. Put those babies in. Let them cook. Okay, so that's gone in for 50 minutes to an hour. I started my timer and I wasn't even thinking, but I wish I would have added this in. It's something I just found. It's actually a powder that you can substitute for flour, and it's full of fiber, and it's so good. I absolutely love it. I just made some banana chocolate chip muffins the other night with my son to get ready for school. That's what we use for snacks. We just package them in little bags for him to take to school, and instead of I think it was a cup and a half of flour, I use this for half of a cup of the flour, and then just put a cup of regular flour in. You can't taste it. It adds extra fiber to whatever it is that you're cooking, and it's super good. So if I was thinking quicker, I would have substituted 1 of the cups of flour for this, but I wasn't thinking quick enough, so next time I'm gonna add this to it. So let's let that cook for another 43 minutes, and then I will show you the finished product. Okay, so they are ready. I just put a toothpick in them and pulled it out, and they are good to go. This one's paper fell down, but that's okay. There we go. Let's let them rest for probably about 10-15 minutes, and then I will take them out of there and give it a slice and show you the finished product. All right, so it's done. Why I love cooking with parchment paper is simply for this reason. That's how easy it comes out. So the loaf, I probably could have made 1 big one because my loaf pans are big, but there is the finished loaf. I'm gonna take out this one too and set it down, and then let's slice it up. Okay, so there's 1 loaf, and I've got 1 cut up, and I'm just gonna give you a quick share of what it looks like. But there you go, super moist, really, really good. My son's having a piece. I've got almost a piece gone, and then honestly, I don't think that one's gonna make it to the freezer, so there you go. All right, so there we go. It is out. Let me take a slice off the end and show you what it looks like. There you go. And that is your zucchini loaf. Let me show you what it looks like for not an end piece, but the next piece into the loaf. Cut it. It's very hot still, but there you go. I'm gonna give it a try. Very good, very moist. Give it a try. Oh, also, if you're not gonna eat it within 2 days of being on the counter, put it in the freezer, and then just take it out as you want to eat it. There you go. So that is how easy it is. It was actually a very, very quick recipe. I think the longest part was just shredding that zucchini. But as always, thank you guys so much for following along and watching. Try it out for yourself. Like, comment what you think. And as always, subscribe, ring that bell so you never miss a video. See you guys.